What up, babes? It's your girl, Dr. Collectible Takes. Well, so we have a trailer for the movie titled Werewolf. Now, this one I have been waiting patiently for something to drop. I knew this was in the works well over a year, and I remember them stating that when it comes out, it will be coming out in Christmas of 2026. I'm excited for this one. I am a fan of Robert Eggers' work. I will say this, please do not give me the side eye, you guys. The only one I think out of all that I've not seen fully is The Lighthouse. I need to watch that, but I love his work. Definitely was a fan of Racine the Witch with the Northmen and of course Nosferatu. And from that one, we see that some of the cast from that film is coming over to do this one. I see Aaron Taylor-Johnson. We have Lily-Rose Depp, William Dafoe, and I think Ralph Ineson. So I'm already excited at the casting on this one. I will say, besides that, since this is maybe hence titled Werewolf, I have some thoughts, and I'm going to discuss them at the end of the trailer. So, with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. I'll say the rest of my thoughts at the end, guys.
Child of God. God. Do not dread the darkness. Embrace it. I heard of a raving beast that ravish this country.
Keep my husband safe from his cursedness.
Hear the sound.
Thy soul is cursed. Thy kin are cursed. Thy world
Oh,
is cursed.
all right, you guys. I enjoyed this trailer immensely, and for just the simple fact that it didn't show a lot. Just for it to be 2 minutes, this is all I need. I don't plan on watching another trailer. I'm satisfied. They might show something else. If somebody asks me, I have to think long and hard. I really don't watch anything else. Secondly, I'm definitely inclined because I really want to see exactly how the transformation is done. I praise mostly practical effects. I love the way, he just made the overall look of Nosferatu in his last film last year, especially on Christmas. So I'm just excited to see where this is going to go. Secondly, being that Aaron is, playing, a cursed farmer. And this is, of course, when you look at the overall look, film cinematography and all that of the film, 13th century England. And it looks like this family, him, Lily Rose, and their kids, I don't know, they're traveling and end up in a new area, along the countryside. But it makes me wonder when they're doing, excuse me, going from place to place because I don't know, after so many kills, if she's definitely probably aware, clearly from something she said, and within the trailer, I caught that, kind of looking over and praying over him, so it feels like every time something happens, if it gets to the point where it starts to be more noticeable, they have to up and leave. But it looks like somebody might be not stay on their trail, but kind of like, investigating, and getting closer and closer, and it looks like the person doing that investigating looks to be willing to follow. So I'm definitely intrigued by that part, almost like him as the farmer is trying to stay one step ahead because of the situation and being cursed, this folklore, this supernatural evil, that's found its way into this particular countryside. So I like also the sound effects that I heard with the one girl kind of trying to be aware and scared something could be out there lurking. You hear it like it's almost kind of in somewhat of a hunt, waiting to see when I'll be able to maybe grab the girl. Yeah, I'm here for this. Now I will say also, with this being said, One thing about me, don't really like to go out on Christmas Day. I did go see for Nosferatu on the same day, so I was just like, it looks so good. I was like, I didn't want to wait another day. And being that this is another one that's coming out on Christmas Day, and being that it's a werewolf film, when I say that to say this, I've said this in the past. Now, when I saw the movie Wolfman that came out in 2025 with Julia Gardner and Christopher Abbott, I actually enjoyed that. Of course, directed by Leigh Whannell. Now, some people didn't particularly care for all the practical effects because they wanted a little bit more of kind of like a wolf life. But I know some individuals was like the way they told the story and the way, his overall look kind of worked with that particular film. Some people, you're not going to always get what you want, whatever. That's the whole point of the director doing it the way he wanted the overall feel or look in the aesthetic of said wolf in that film. Now, I will say there are plenty of films in the past, one in particular where I didn't want to watch werewolves after watching them, and that was American Werewolf in London, which came out in '81. I remember seeing that as a child. That traumatized me for a long time. Didn't want to watch any werewolf films. Eventually hit my mid-teens, saw the movie. What was it? The next one I'm going to put up? Because when I saw American Werewolf, in England. Eventually, I met David Naughton. I might note the picture of me and him together, and I'm gonna tell you, it took every inch of me to stand beside him because it brought me back to that moment when I was a kid. I'm just like, oh my God, like you're right here, and we're taking this picture, like, oh Lord. And then the next one that kind of left an impression on me was Bad Moon, which came out in '96 with starring Michael Pare. Love that, met him. That transformation was just, oh my God. Those two transformations, those two films, I so enjoyed, just the way it was done. Definitely creepy, just the overall look. And then I have other ones like Dog Soldiers, starring Sam Pertwee. I love him. And other ones like, the Underworld franchise. Other films, coming, might be more kind of like a B-list type of, horror films, more independent films over the course of the years. So I've gotten over my, need to kind of be hesitant of seeing a lot of world films. Time, but I said this will be the first one. I'm gonna be honest with you that I've seen, since of course Wolfman, but before that, I hadn't seen nothing in the theater for that. That's the only type of films I can say really they used to get to me. Being that I watched them at a young age and it kind of left an impression on me. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Robert Eggers is going to bring to the table for this particular one because, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, Nosferatu knocked out the park with me. So being that this is the next one, and again on Christmas Day, and to bring me out of the house on Christmas Day when I don't like to leave, you got to bring your A game. And I already feel like he's going to not disappoint yet again. So with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys next reaction. You guys take care.